Going on, guys? All right, so today we're going to talk about Odell Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr. is the superstar athlete that plays for the Los Angeles Rams. And I just found out that Odell took all his pay in Bitcoin. And I'm going to just kind of explain to you very quickly why that's just a terrible idea and why Odell is going to pay a big price for taking on that risk. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I am your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth every single day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day. And the condition is that we are Black first, and you can't be mad at us for being Black first because we love ourselves. And if you agree with the idea that Black people need to put ourselves first, that we need to take care of our community, solve our problems, raise our kids, educate our own, put a hashtag B in the number one in the chat, hashtag B1. And speaking of that, Rick Mathis, a great film director who made the film Black Friday, which is a Blackbuster hit, not Blockbuster, Blackbuster hit. Everybody in the Black community heard about it. He's also the director of a new film we have coming out that I'm just giving you a sneak preview of it. It's called B1 the Movie, and it's going to star so many great people, everybody from Vicky Dillard to Dr. Claude Anderson to Riza Islam, Nuri Muhammad, Dr. Alicia. I'm in it. There's a ton of people in it, and it's going to be good. It's going to be so good. But I'm not going to talk too much about it today because I'm trying to keep it under my hat. But I ain't got no hat on today, and I ain't even got no hair. So I let the cat out the bag just a little bit. But I'm going to let you guys know as soon as the trailer is ready. We put a lot of money and a lot of time into this film. It's going to be really good. And so I hope you'll take a chance to possibly be a part of that. Now, here's the deal. How many of you, give me a yes or no, how many of you know about Odell Beckham Jr. that plays for the Los Angeles Rams? How many of you have heard of Odell Beckham Jr.? Odell Beckham Jr. is he's interesting. I think he's a Kardashian. I think the Kardashians, they adopt these little Black boys. They bring them into the house, and they like these these Hollywood actresses that just love to adopt these African kids and turn like the boys into little girls and do weird things with them. Well, the Kardashians like to adopt Black boys, and they adopted Kanye West, they adopted Travis Scott, they adopted Odell Beckham Jr., and then there was another Lamar Odom, and they all end up going crazy. I don't know what the hell they got going on in that household, but I kid you not, today the whole afternoon I spent about an hour explaining to Dr. Claude Anderson the whole history of the Kardashians. And I think he was still confused. I think he was confused because he came from an era where Black behavior actually made sense. So I'm still, that's an ongoing conversation. But anyway, Odell Beckham Jr., in case you don't know, is a guy who's extremely talented. He's a step faster than the other wide receivers. He's a little more talented. He's a badass. He's a great player. But he's also, a little on the flashy side. He's kind of like like a little bit. He's like what Antonio Brown would be if he wasn't like totally off the rail. Like Antonio Brown goes a little bit off the rails, whereas Odell Beckham kind of hovers on the ledge, right? Where he might get cut, he might quit the team suddenly, but at the same time, he knows how to kind of stay within the boundaries, and he's very talented. Anyway, let me tell you what Antonio Brown did. Sorry, not Antonio Brown. Take that out of my brain. Odell Beckham Jr. Let me tell you what Odell did and why I thought it was just such a questionable choice. Odell decided, I didn't know this until recently, but he decided to take his pay with the Rams in Bitcoin. Now, this was apparently some promotion they were doing with Cash App. I think there were some other players who took a portion of their salary in Bitcoin. There was another player. I don't have his name in front of me, but he took his whole salary in Bitcoin. And at that time, I think Bitcoin was probably hovering over $60,000 a coin. The expectations was that it's going to continue to go up. I believe Bitcoin was going to hit 100,000. I felt like it was on track to do that. But I also mentioned to you guys for the last 2, 3, 4 years that Bitcoin is extremely volatile. Invested in Bitcoin is like hanging out in a dangerous neighborhood. You don't want to be hanging out in the hood all the time after dark, no matter what, because anything can go down, anything can pop off. Well, right now it's popping off for Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin's crashing along with the rest of the market. We're not in a full-fledged crash yet, but Bitcoin's getting its butt kicked. I think it's cut almost in half. So since Odell signed his deal to get his salary, which was $750,000 as a base, up to as much as $4.3 million with incentives. I imagine he's probably met some of his incentives because the Rams are doing really well. They just knocked the Bucs out of the playoffs, so there's still he's going to make some money. But if he's getting paid in Bitcoin, he's probably going to get a little more than half of what he agreed to get, and he was already underpaid to begin with. He already wasn't getting what I believe he would have gotten if he hadn't had so many problems with the Cleveland Browns. So let me just tell you what you're seeing right now with Odell, and I'm not dogging him at all. I'm sure he's going to be fine. I'm sure the Kardashians are going to take care of him. You know, they adopt the little black boys. They don't like black people that much. They only like rappers and athletes. So if you are a rapper with 25 gold teeth and you know, a Gucci belt, and you can't spell your mama's last name, and you're high on drugs half the time, then they like, that's cool. That's the cool black man. But if you're the smart black man who takes care of black family and loves black women and cares about the community, that's not so interesting. That's the boring black man. So I want to stay boring. I ain't trying to be lit. I'm trying to be the boring black man because I believe in taking care of family and being a normal guy. These guys are not normal. And so the Kardashians are probably going to take care of him. I'm sure also he's got some good endorsement deals with Cash App. Like, for example, with Cash App, I think the reason that he agreed to take his salary in Bitcoin was a promotional thing for Cash App. Also, it was a way to kind of get people interested in crypto. Crypto adoption is heavily driven by what the influencers are doing. Odell Beckham has probably a couple million people that follow him on Instagram. So I'm sure a lot of people bought Bitcoin because he was diving into Bitcoin, 10 toes down, in with both feet. Now, Bitcoin could recover. That would be fine. But here's the deal. Let me just explain this to you. You guys know my background. I'm a finance professor. And one of the things that you never do in investing, unless you want to get your ass kicked, is you never, ever put all your money into one asset. You never, ever under diversify. Now, I'm not saying I don't know what other assets Beckham's invested in, but when you say something like this, when you say, hey, boss, I want to get all my money in Bitcoin, that's pretty risky. That's pretty risky. And the thing about risk that people didn't understand during the pandemic is they didn't understand that what goes up can come down. It was going up. So people thought, oh, everything goes up. North is the only direction that any asset's going to go. And now you're starting to see that, no, everything ain't going to just keep going up. Sometimes it comes down and sometimes it keeps going down. Y'all don't understand. You're in the middle of a market decline, but you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till they show you the dot-com bust of 2000. Wait till they show you what happened in 2007, 2008 when Obama came in. Wait till they show you what the Great Depression looked like. Wait till they show you a couple little Black Fridays and whatnot. Then you might understand what it feels like to really lose a lot of money very quickly. And so if you want to know why old school investors like Warren Buffett and people like that weren't getting on the Bitcoin train, they weren't getting on the meme stock train, they weren't getting on the growth stock train, it's because they've seen it all. Buffett's 90-something years old. He has seen things you can only imagine in your worst nightmares. So as he's watching everybody making money, he understood that there's a dark side to all of that. And so this Bitcoin bust is part of that. It doesn't mean it's going to last forever. It just means, oh, hold on, let me hit this button. It just means that it may not go away as quick as you might think. Okay. So anyway, let me know if you can hear me. Give me a yes if you can hear me. Yes or no. Let me know if you can hear me. Also, please hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And also, you can go to boycewatkins.com if you'd like to take a look at some of the stuff we have. We have a Black Wealth calendar. And also, I really enjoy talking to you directly in the small group Level Up consultations. I'm going to do another one of those at some point. I don't know when exactly, but I'll let you know when we decide to do that. So let's see a couple more things. I will be talking later on this week about what's going on with the market. There's a lot of activity happening this week that you want to pay attention to. The Fed's going to make some announcements. There are lots of earnings reports coming out. A lot of these things are going to affect the price of your stock. So you really want to kind of be on the lookout because this is going to affect what your assets look like, at least in the short term. But remember, investing is a long-term game. It's not a short-term game. Always keep that in mind. Last but not least, if you want to get access to stock picks, stuff like that, feel free to support the channel. If you support the channel, then we'll support you. I'll give you some stock picks that you might want to take a look at, some stocks I found in my own research. Just go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. We ask you to be a supporter of the channel, and then in exchange, I'll put some stuff up there that'll help you in your investing journey. So I hope that that's a deal that you'll consider. If not, that's okay. But I just want to lay that out there because we are growing Black-owned media, and we want to get our message out there ourselves without asking anybody's permission. Okay, guys, so I'm out of here. So I hope you got the point. The point is never, ever, ever get to the point where you think one asset is everything. People did that with Enron stock. Enron was a great company that was making a ton of money. A lot of employees put their whole retirement account in Enron stock. Guess what? A lot of those people died broke. A lot of those people died broke. Now, somebody said you were promoting Bitcoin, Boyce. I wasn't promoting it. I was telling you that I'm invested in Bitcoin. But if you go look at my portfolio, you will not see more than 3 or 4% of my portfolio in Bitcoin. So don't say that. Don't you be out here. Don't be like that. Don't be out there spreading lies. I got 18,495 videos out here where I have a very consistent message. So don't be out here making stuff up now. You know that ain't right. You know that ain't true. I'm not promoting it. I am mentioning it as something I wanted to add to my portfolio. But I'll be damned if you ever going to say that I said put all your money in Bitcoin. If anybody ever says I said that, you say, no, you a goddamn liar, because that's simply not true. Y'all got me lit up right now. I'm kind of mad. I got to go talk to my mama. I love you guys. See you later. God bless you. Have a good night. And I will be back this week and we can talk more about investing. BoyceWatkins.com if you want to know more of what we got going on. I hope you guys have a good night. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, all that stuff before you go. Talk to you later. Peace.